Hey, hello brothers and sisters, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, lads and ladesses. Welcome once again to Freeline FM with me, Rabbi Israel Ben Heyman. As some of you will know, and maybe some of you don't, I'm an MD. I treat people pretty much on a daily basis for all the things that ails them, except when I'm feeling a bit under the weather myself, in which case I take a bit of time off. I've had quite a lot of time off just recently, as many of you will know. But hey, look, something crossed my desk this morning, and it caught my attention. If something catches my attention, I give it some considerable thought, then I do a bit of research, and if I feel it's necessary, I make a little video like this to let everybody know what what I've discovered. Basically, what's come across my desk has been crossing my desk actually for the last year or so. The next pandemic, or as many people like to call it, a planned-demic, which, you know, I can't blame people for thinking that. The pandemic of 2020, 2019, COVID-19, caused a lot of damage. And I have suspicions that I'm one of those people it damaged. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, I'm physically fit, my blood pressure is well within the range, blood sugar is normal, blah blah blah, I'm healthy as Larry. Next thing you know, I had a heart attack. And when I put it to my cardiologist that this could very well be as a direct cause, or at least there is some causal link to the pandemic, to COVID-19, the man-made, manufactured virus, he didn't deny it. That's the thing. Anyway, I suppose many people would say, well, you know, at 72, a lot of people have heart attacks. Yeah, that's right, they do. And I had a heart attack when I was 72 years old. That was 2 years ago. And I'm okay now. I was very, very fortunate, very lucky, in so much that I was fit and very healthy. And the heart attack, although a serious heart attack, the anterior descending coronary artery became 99% blocked, and as many people will be quite happy to tell you if you ask them, it's the one they call the widowmaker, and I survived it. The odd thing is, I didn't even know I was having it. I didn't have any chest pains, I didn't have any breathlessness, I didn't have the sweats and the feeling of nausea and blah blah blah, all the usual things that you get with a heart attack. The one thing that tipped me off that it might be a heart attack was that my ankles swelled up, and that's when your body starts retaining water, and that was a possibility. And I'd had this pretty bad cough for quite a few months, and it didn't seem to want to go away, and suddenly the cough and the swelling in my ankles made sense. I got myself to the medical centre, had a quick ECG. Sure enough, there was a glitch on the ECG on my P wave of the ECG, and they very swiftly shipped me off to the hospital, and sure enough I was having a heart attack. And anyway, everything went okay. A couple of days later I had a stent fitted in the offending artery to widen it out again and let the blood flow normally. And when I say I was very lucky and very fortunate, it is in this particular area. There's absolutely no damage done to my heart, which is extremely unusual for a 99% blockage. That would normally cause a great deal of myocardial damage. That's damage to the heart muscle. The heart muscle is one such muscle that once you damage it, it stays damaged. It won't rejuvenate, it won't regrow, and it won't get any much better than it already is. So you're stuck with a damaged heart for the rest of your life. If you behave yourself and you do what your doctors tell you and you take the medication you're supposed to take, you should be okay. The idea is that you don't cause yourself to have another heart attack in any way, shape or form, because the chances of having another one are pretty strong. You always, if you've had one, the chances are that you're heading at some point to having another. So the idea is stick to the medication, do what the doctor says, watch your diet, watch your blood pressure, and you can avoid the second one and live a normal, pretty much normal, healthy life. If you're still playing football when you're 72 years old, perhaps you should think about giving up and just taking up some vigorous walking instead. But anyway, there we are. That's what happened, and that's why I've been away for such a long time. What crossed my desk is the fact that there are certain very well thought of, well qualified and well honoured dignitaries in the field of cardiology and other ologies who are predicting another pandemic, and it may or may not be another man-made one. COVID-19 was certainly man-made. A certain Dr. Fauci has got a great many questions that I would like him to answer for me, but unfortunately I'm not far enough up the pecking order chain to be able to get into a room where I can ask him those questions. Let's hope that those who are further up the pecking order chain do get a chance to ask him those questions, and if he can't answer them, or at least he can't answer them truthfully, and we can find out that he's telling lies, then let's put that man away in prison where he belongs, because a great many people lost their lives during that pandemic. And what we want to avoid, what I want to avoid as a doctor, of course, is the death of literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people due to some man-made experiment. That's just not acceptable. Nature, in its own right, will throw these things at us, and believe me, every single year there's a new strain of this and a new strain of that, and by having a lot of research and reliable results to that research already on hand, almost all, if not all, almost all of these strains of various viruses can be checked. The flu pandemic, it's there every year. There is a flu pandemic every single year. You just don't hear about it because it's so common. But, you know, if you're over 60 and you go and get the flu jab, pretty much, generally speaking, you'll be okay. And we've pretty much got the flu under control. That doesn't mean that another strain couldn't creep through and suddenly cause a lot of havoc in the health of literally millions of people. But what I'm worried about, and this is what caught my attention, is that the same names are cropping up. Bill Gates, Antonio Fauci, and various other individuals who during the last pandemic of COVID-19 were silenced. Now, I won't stand for that. They can hold a gun to my head, and as far as I'm concerned, they can pull the trigger as well. But they will not shut my mouth as long as I have breath to tell the general public the truth about any medical problem that they could be facing. I've taken that oath that I will do no harm. That's the first thing. First and foremost, do no harm. And I'm not going to do any harm to a potential patient by remaining silent when I should protest. I believe it was a fine lady by the name of Ella Wheeler Wilcox who said, it makes cowards of all men who remain silent when they should protest. I'm not sure that that's correct, but you get the idea. And I'm not going to keep quiet. And as long as these things keep sneaking across my desk, and if I think there's any substance to them, I'm going to make videos like this and let you know there is some substance to this, because there are some people involved here who've been involved before. I'd like to see their names disappear from the list of usual suspects, and get them out of this business. I mean, the likes of Bill Gates, you've got no qualifications whatsoever to be coming out saying this is the way we should do this and this is the way we should do that. And by the year 2066 and whatever, we're going to have this, that and the other. He's not qualified to tell you that. And even I'm not qualified to tell you that. It's as simple as that. When people of dubious reputation start raising their ugly heads, and another pandemic is predicted, it makes me pay attention. Now, before anybody starts panicking, there were people, very visible dignitaries, who predicted another pandemic in 2025. Here we are in 2026 and it didn't happen. So, this could all be, loose wings in the wind, flapping against nothing. It could all be that. It's only that several dignitaries that I do not trust, and I certainly do not like, have raised their heads and they're involved. Certainly their names are being associated with certain things that I don't like the sound of, i.e. another pandemic in 2026. I nearly said 2026 then, my goodness me. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? That was the year my father was born. He'd be 100 years old this year. So, yeah, it's just to let you know that these things are still out there. People are still talking about it. And what I want to say about it is, if it does come along, I'll be as quick as I can possibly be off the mark, and let you know on my YouTube channel, provided YouTube will let me do that, because last time YouTube shut me down. Yeah, YouTube don't like the truth. It's like police videos, which I publish quite often. If the police are dishing out an awful lot of violence, YouTube take it down. They don't want that. Oh, we don't want the violence. We don't want that on the platform. The fact that it's true and it's legitimate, and it's the reality of the life and the world we live in, that doesn't seem to matter to Mr. YouTube, Mr. Google. The truth has no place in modern society. But one way or another, I will find a way to get the message out to you if I find something else that concerns me and that I believe concerns you as well, about any possibility of any other kind of pandemic. So rest assured that I shall be serving you, perhaps not directly as your doctor, but as much as I possibly can as an MD online. So until I see you the next time, which hopefully will be fairly soon. We're on our travels back to Europe in about 2 weeks' time, my wife and I, and from there we will start doing the Christian Nation blog. We'll be doing the police videos, the police brutality videos. We'll be running the news desk again, and I may make this a feature as well, run some videos about the so-called pandemic for 2026. It depends on how much time I have to dedicate to that kind of work, because before I do any of that, obviously I need to do some research and test the veracity of the stories that I'm receiving. Anyway, that's all in the future. Hope you found my little video reasonably entertaining. If you look down here, you'll find a thumbs up. That would be nice if you did that. Press on that. And also, if you press subscribe, which means you won't miss the next one. And it may not do a lot for you, but it does a lot for my channel. So anyway, that all said, have the rest of a very good evening, forthcoming weekend. Have a good weekend. I've got another birthday between now and then, 2 days time. I'm not going to tell you how old. Yeah, well, I'm 74. And I'll see you next time, hopefully with better news and the Christian Nation blog, which is the best news about our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. Until then, goodbye and God bless you.